The Memphis Zoo's virtual wild encounter. I am actually the lap that our friend Bandit here is sitting on. She and I are spending some time in the T-Rex nest this morning, and we are super excited to talk about dinosaurs because we do have dinosaurs right now here at the Memphis Zoo, and we'll be having them through about mid-October, I think. So whenever you have a chance, come on down and check out our dinosaur exhibit. But for now, we're going to talk about Bandit here. Bandit is a bull snake, or a type of gopher snake. Bull snakes get their name because they are a bulldozer. They use their nose right there to dig into the ground. So that's what Bandit likes to do here. She doesn't really climb trees that much. She prefers to stay on the ground just like a T-Rex would. T-Rex was a huge dinosaur, weighed about as much as 2 school buses, so super big. And they were also carnivores that lived on the ground just like snakes. Snakes actually did come first though. So snakes came around about 99 million years ago. They have been evolving since then, and the first T-Rex appeared about 85 million years ago. So anywhere between 20 to 10 million years difference in when they appeared. The first snakes were a lot bigger than Bandit. A lot of people see Bandit and think she's huge. She is actually 6 feet long, but she's nowhere near as long as Titanoboa, which was one of the biggest snakes to ever live. It was about 2 tons in weight and could be as long as 40 feet. So Bandit here is just a little tiny snake compared to Titanoboa. But there are some similarities between T-Rex and snakes. Even though they're not directly related, they are both reptiles. So that means that they are cold-blooded, or what we now refer to as ectothermic. So they get all of their body heat from the sun, which is what Bandit is enjoying right now. You might also see her sticking out her tongue. She's sniffing around right now, all of this nesting material for this T-Rex. Snakes actually do create nests as well. They like to put all of their eggs in one place, and some snakes will actually make sure that their eggs stay warm, but Bandit does not prefer to do that, unlike a T-Rex who would be sitting at their nest. Our T-Rex mom is a little bit further in the background watching us from a distance. But these guys also have scales, just like a snake or any other reptile. So they have these keratin bits all over their body that are kind of like roof shingles. And keratin is what your fingernails are made out of. So if you press on your fingernail at home, that's exactly what her skin feels like, or her scales here. And those scales are kind of like an armor. They help protect her body, and they would help protect T-Rex's body. T-Rex didn't have a whole lot of predators that could hurt them, but they definitely fought with each other. But snakes do have some predators. So if we had a hawk above us, or even a fox or a raccoon, those are all predators of snakes here. Bandit is an adult, so she's bigger, and she would probably be not as threatened by a raccoon or something like that. But her scales do protect her in case something does try to grab her. They overlap each other, just like roofing shingles, so that nothing can get in between them. Her scales are also what we call keeled scales. So that's keeled, K-E-E-L-D, sorry, I can't spell today. And that means that they have a little ridge in the middle of them. And that ridge actually helps her blend in. So it helps her to not reflect as much light off of her scales. Some snakes are super shiny. You see them from longer distances, but she blends in a little bit and looks a little bit more matte. And that helps her to find prey and also avoid those predators from above. But I think we might be having some questions now. So if we want to go to those.
We are. We're losing a little bit of sight of her because she looks like she's trying to find a little place to bury herself in. Using that nice head there.
Yeah.
It's funny, you said Titanoboa,
yeah.
Titanoboa sounds like something of a horror movie I'd be watching on, Netflix.
Yeah, that's a snake I definitely wouldn't want to run into.
How big was Titanoboa?
They were about 40 feet long, so
holy crap.
Super long, super big. We definitely don't have anything near that size anymore.
See, I'm not afraid of snakes, but if I think it can eat me at that point, maybe I should be. Some healthy food there.
Yeah, a Titanoboa could definitely eat you. Bandit here, not so much.
All right. Well, first of all, a shout out to you, Bella. Walt would like to tell you just awesome information in this video.
Oh, thank you so much, Walt. Thank you for joining in and watching us here.
And Christina would like to say, hi, Bandit.
Hi, Christina. Bandit is enjoying some nice fresh air right now.
Oh, absolutely. Lucy, age 8, wants to know, how long is Bandit?
Bandit is about 6 feet at this point, so she is getting pretty long. We actually, at this point, will be using 2 people to handle her during presentations because she is so long we don't want to droop any part of her body. And she is her adult size, but she can get a little bit bigger as she grows.
Now, how much bigger do you think, on average, would a snake like Bandit get?
She could probably get about a half foot longer, so about 6.5, 7 feet long.
Woo!
Yeah, she's a pretty big girl.
It looks like Claire Van D would like to know, is Bandit a corn snake?
Hi, Claire. So that's a good question. Bandit is not a corn snake. She is kind of related. They're both colubrids, but Bandit is a bull snake, so a type of gopher snake, which aren't necessarily seen in Tennessee, but we can see them in the surrounding states.
She gives just the cutest view of her
Yes.
little shovel head you're telling us about. She likes to dig in that ground.
Yeah, she's got those nice eyebrows to protect her eyes from the sun. These guys don't actually have eyelids, so they have to use other methods to shield their eyes.
You heard us right here, folks. Snakes have eyebrows, or at least this snake does.
Yes.
Okay, Jeffrey would like to know, what is Bandit's favorite meal?
Bandit loves to get her rats. So she gets a small rat, and she is just always super pumped. Never misses a meal for sure, and you can tell because she is so long.
And just so beautiful.
Yes.
Okay, Colton, age 9. How old is Bandit?
Bandit is probably around 6 years old. I don't know off the top of my head, but I'm assuming that that's around her age range.
So favorite meal, does that also include her favorite food if you were to give her a little treat during enrichment time that she maybe want to nibble at?
Yeah, so these guys actually eat their prey whole. So you can cut their mice into smaller pieces, but overall you still have to have a whole prey item.
Well, Elijah A6 was wondering what her favorite food was. And Elijah, you should answer back with Mom. Tell us what your favorite food is.
Yes.
I'm going to take a shot. It's not mice.
Probably not. They are not the tastiest thing to us humans.
It is all good. I know Bandit's just looking right at the camera here, just loving it.
She just wants to be the star today.
I love it. And you said she's got eyebrows here. So are we talking about eyebrows? Is that little ridge we're looking at there?
Yeah, so she has those ridges up above her eyes, and that's actually a scale of itself. It's just a really thick, layered scale, and that protects her eyes from the sun, just like T-Rex's scale above their eyes would protect their eyes from the sun.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
So we can watch that when you all review Jurassic Park tonight and make sure
Yes.
we really understand.
Yes,
T-Rex
and when you
is
come to
saying.
the zoo and you can come see and say, I knew that T-Rex had eyebrows.
Elijah did reply back. He says, no thank you to the mouse.
More for Bandit. She's okay with that.
Okay, and we want to know, Dawn would like to know, Warden, age 9, how long will she live?
That's a really good question, Morton. So snakes can live into their 20s and 30s. So she's probably going to live to be at least 25 years old since she's in human care here. She has all of the food that she could want. She has no predators, and she sees the vet every year.
Just, like last time, y'all. Band's going to make me work for it.
Yeah.
All right,
Hopefully not
Leah,
as
age
much.
6. What does the pattern in their body represent?
That's a very good question. So her pattern and most patterns that look like hers, that are this brownish, yellowish color, the whole point of them is to blend in. So when you think about a snake that lives on the ground, mostly what's going to be on the ground are leaves and then the light that gets through the leaves in the trees. So if you look at her pattern, she kind of actually looks like this straw as well. But she blends in really well with the leaves and stuff like that, and if there was scattered light all around her, she would just look like she was part of a leaf litter. And that would help her to blend in so that, again, predators couldn't see her, but also so that her meals couldn't see her.
Okay, so the mice might get confused and think they were totally safe when really there was Bandit waiting. And guys, just before anybody asks, this black cord you do see here, that is our mic cord, but we're not worried that Bandit's going to try to eat the mic cord. No worries there. It does not look like a mouse or anything she'd want to put in her mouth.
Definitely not.
Okay, let's see. Will we be seeing any of the mammals soon, elephant, tigers, or lions? Benita, that's a great question. We're still kind of holding off and limiting some of our interactions with our mammals at this time. They will be on their exhibits, of course, when you come to visit us when we open this Wednesday. As for video, we're having some discussions very soon, and we'll get back to you just as quick as we can. Mm-hmm. But on to our questions. Yes. Dana wants to know, why do you have to hold it?
That's a good question, Dana. So Bandit here is an interpreter, and she's slithering out of frame now. But she is used to being around us. She enjoys, in a way. She's okay with being around us. She's not scared or uncomfortable being in my hands. But the whole world around us is pretty new to her. She doesn't always come down here and hang out in a T-Rex nest. So we like to make sure that she's comfortable and has somewhere that she feels safe so that we don't lose her or can't see her somewhere, because she does have that great camouflage.
She did follow up, can you video and people view without you touching it? I don't know about ambassador animals, Bella, but I do know for the snakes here at Memphis Zoo, we do pull some out, and we did last summer, and we have actually several videos online of no one touching snakes except for maybe me by accident when they came right up to me.
Yeah.
But there's plenty of videos online, so I don't know about your snakes, but I can definitely tell you things like Elma, who's our 15-foot python, does definitely come out and hang out in the grass where, guests can come and give them a little two-finger touch. But tell me more about Bandit, if she could ever come out maybe without you holding and guests enjoying her as well.
Yeah, so we do take our snakes on what we call snake walks, really close to them, and when we can make sure that they're comfortable doing that. So Bandit is kind of new to being an ambassador, so she's not quite at that level yet, but eventually she'll get to the point where she would be able to do snake walks, where you could just see her doing what she naturally wants to do.
Guys, I think it went, I think the internet went out just for a second there, but we'll keep answering questions while we wait for everyone to join us. It was interrupted. Okay.
Yeah, so
we are back on, so hopefully guests will rejoin us very soon. We apologize for that. We are outside, and sometimes the signal just drops on me, so but I'll keep on with the questions while we're hanging out.
Yeah.
Christina, has she had babies?
She has not had babies. So Bandit is just being used as an ambassador, so she's not being used for the species survival program or for the breeding program. So she gets to just live out her life, eating as much as she wants and coming out and saying hi to everyone at the zoo.
Okay, and Micah, age 9, how many of those snakes are in Memphis Reptile House?
Memphis Reptile House?
I think they're talking about our herpetarium.
Oh, and our herpetarium. I think we have one. I do believe we have one, but I'm not exactly sure.
I know we have Louisiana pine snakes, and they're a cousin of the pine snake. I don't know if we have an actual bull snake.
Yeah, they would look pretty similar, though, for sure.
Definitely. All right, let's reload as she comes in nice and close on us. Guys, again, we do apologize for that. Little mix-up there with the internet and those technical difficulties, but I am pulling it back on and just seeing what's going on and what kind of questions we're getting.
Oh, there she's burning.
Oh, the mayonnaise. I love the Zoolympics. Thank you so much. That was really fun for us.
Yeah.
Okay, is she venomous?
It's a very good question. So she is not venomous. She is just a regular bull snake. But she does mimic the rattlesnake. So she does mimic a couple different kinds of rattlesnakes. Here we have the timber rattlesnake, and that's what she's mostly going to look like. So you might see that she has these lines all along her tail, and that kind of looks like a rattle from far away. She'll also, when she gets scared or threatened, she'll start to coil up and kind of sidewind so that she looks a lot bigger, and she can actually shake her tail on the ground so that she sounds like she's rattling it. But she is totally harmless, other than her regular old teeth.
Now, I know the pine snake does something similar and shakes, but it can also vocalize. Can she vocalize at all? Or make some sounds to kind of maybe scare off some prey?
So if she was really, really scared, she could hiss. She could make a big hiss and make herself seem much bigger than she actually is. She's loving this.
Look at her go. Just making sure on our last segment I didn't miss any questions before I move on to our next one. It looks like we caught them all.
Nice.
Gallimimus is right, though. Also answering our friends on YouTube that Bandit here was not venomous, that they wouldn't hold a venomous snake as it would put our keeper in danger.
Yeah, she was truly a venomous snake. We wouldn't be so casual about having her out here. We would definitely be handling her with more caution. But we do have our venomous snake show here at the Memphis Zoo, so you can see people handling venomous snakes.
Let's get back here. Oh, Patricia, I'm enjoying the live report. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you, Patricia. Bandit, I think, is enjoying her time out here, too.
I would definitely say so, 'cause every time I look down, I have to keep adjusting. Erin, how careful do you have to be with the pandemic going on to make sure she doesn't get sick?
So that's a good question. As far as we know right now, reptiles can't contract COVID-19. So we are still doing our best to be safe when we're handling the animals in their enclosures. We are using gloves, we're using masks so that we're not getting anything onto the animal and then transmitting it to another human, or potentially, if it ever did mutate, to be able to transmit to reptiles, because we definitely wouldn't want that to happen.
Absolutely. And then, just out of curiosity, I know it's not too uncommon to where you could see a mammal and a human transmit diseases, but how often does it actually happen with a non-mammal animal, like a reptile? Do you happen to know that?
There are a couple of different what we call zoonoses, so things that can be passed between reptiles and humans, or humans and other animals, but there aren't a whole ton. So a lot of the times when you're talking about reptiles, you hear about salmonella and getting salmonellosis, and that's because these guys can harbor a lot of the salmonella bacteria, but it doesn't actually hurt them. So there's a lot of things like that where it might not hurt us or it might not hurt them, but if you switch, then it might be painful.
All right, and Gallimimus on YouTube like to know, what would be her native habitat?
Hi, Gallimimus. So she is found in the majority of the United States, particularly in the southern half of the United States. And these guys can pretty much adapt to most habitats that you would see in those states. So anything that's out here, like in the forested areas. We also have in Arizona a desert kind, so they can live in the desert. They can really go a lot of different places. They have a very useful camouflage, and they're very adaptable.
We've got Walt back. Do the bull snakes suffer snake fungal disease like our local snakes do?
Hi, yeah. So these guys are definitely susceptible to that snake fungal disease that's been going around. That's a really good point. That's something that we don't hear about a lot, is that there are diseases that are being passed between reptiles. So it's kind of like how COVID-19 is affecting humans. The same thing is happening for these guys with that snake fungal disease.
Oh gosh, now is that anything that people are doing? Is something at home we can help with that, or is that just something that just happens?
So the best thing you can do is to clean off all of your hiking equipment, fishing equipment, hunting equipment before you go anywhere new, so that you're not spreading any bacteria, any fungi, making sure everything that you use is really dry before you go somewhere, so that you're not spreading that. That's a great way to help these guys out.
Okay, so it's all about that clean. I'm okay with that. Good
Yeah.
tip for us. And I'm quite the hiker myself. I've never really thought about that before.
Yeah, it's also helpful for amphibians who are dealing with the chytrid fungus right now, especially with fishing equipment.
Oh, goodness. Well, I'm so glad that there's something we can do to help.
Yeah.
Oh, you've got a fan, Bandit. Angela says you are just so pretty.
Oh, Angela, I bet Bandit is very excited to hear that.
I know, we saw her earlier kind of trying to dig into that ground. I was trying to get the camera on her, but
she likes this little hole that's underneath. It doesn't go very deep, but she tries.
She does. I know she's making work for it today.
Yes.
That's kind of Bandit's thing, though. Some things are really calm, and she's just always on the move. Is that really a core part of her personality?
Yeah, it's definitely. Even this whole species, every bull snake I've worked with is pretty mobile. They like to keep moving. They're pretty active predators instead of just being a sit-and-wait predator. They really go out and hunt, kind of like wolves.
Really?
Yeah.
So how are snakes related to dinosaurs?
So they're both reptiles, which means that they're ectotherms, so they need the sun to stay warm. And they also have these scales all over their body. These guys evolved first, but they aren't a precursor to the T-Rex. So it's not like snakes evolved and then from a snake came a T-Rex. They all kind of evolved from the same very distant ancestor.
Okay. Oh, no, we already talked about that. She's not venomous, but Kyla would like to know, is she poisonous?
Ooh, that's a good question. So it hasn't really been seen in bull snakes, but there are some snakes that are poisonous sometimes. Some garter snakes in California will eat really toxic newts, and then they'll be able to use that poison. And if a bird of prey was to come and eat them, then the bird of prey would be poisoned. Really? So there are some poisonous snakes, but for the most part, that's not something that we would have to worry about. You just don't want to eat any snakes. Otherwise, you might get poisoned.
Okay. Clever girls.
Yes. Very smart and sneaky.
So Dana says, and I don't know, maybe you know what this is, tell everyone about the bluff displays that they put on.
Yeah, so that's what we were talking about with the rattlesnake mimic. So she'll get all big and fluffy. She can flatten her head really well too to make it look bigger and more of that traditional triangular shape that people think of when they think of a venomous snake. She'll sidewind around, she'll shake her tail on the ground, and it will actually sound like a rattle. I actually had one of my friends on Facebook post and say, I think I just came across a rattlesnake. And it turned out it was just a bull snake. So, much different animal. Yeah.
Well, Dog Days on YouTube is just commenting, that is a long snake.
Yeah, all 6 feet of her. She moves them all at once sometimes. So, she's got a lot to stretch.
Earlier, and she was just really making her way around. It's very active, very sweet girl. Definitely giving you your arm and hand workout today.
Yeah, she likes to go for a treadmill walk every once in a while.
And Anne, we do see your question if there's any new animal or reptiles headed to Memphis Zoo in the future. You know, there's always things going on behind the scenes. We have to kind of wait. Being the one here in marketing, I'm not going to allow Bella to answer that question because I want to announce those fun things in a very silly way. So I do apologize that we can't technically answer that question, but I can tell you to always keep an eye on social media because as your moderator, I do like to keep things really fun and educational. And if y'all haven't noticed, I also like to get a little silly.
Yes, of course. We love silly reptile fun.
Oh, yeah. I'm a big reptile fan myself, so.
Yes.
If you ever follow me, you'll see a lot about Tad Cooper.
Yes.
Oh, she is just loving it out here. Love it. So I guess we can keep talking here. It looks like we've answered all of our questions, but is there any more fun facts about why you picked to sit with the T-Rex in particular out here with Bandit?
Well, T-Rex is probably my second favorite dinosaur. They're pretty cool. My first favorite is Quetzalcoatlus, but that's a whole nother story. T-Rex is just one of those iconic dinosaurs that we all know, we all think of. And they were a big predator in their time, just like snakes are now. They are totally carnivorous. They have tons of teeth, just like snakes do, and all those scales and stuff. And I think it's pretty cool to sit here in a T-Rex nest. Not a lot of people get to say that they've done that. So we want to get everyone excited again for the fact that we do have dinos here at the Memphis Zoo.
And guys, they will be here all the way through Halloween, through Zoo Boots. Really exciting. We're thanking Kroger so much for sponsoring this great event for us.
Yeah, we're very excited. And Bandit's very happy to be out here in the sunshine in this nest too.
So, you know, you just mentioned something that no one's asked yet. Are you telling me that Bandit has teeth?
Yes, so Bandit doesn't have the fangs that you think of when you think of a venomous snake, but she does have plenty of little teeth inside of her mouth, and they're hooked. They're curved back into her mouth so that when she bites something, it stays in and it can't just pull back out.
Whoa.
So a bite from her would leave you with a lot of little puncture wounds, but no venom.
Okay, because the T-Rex, when you think of teeth, I mean...
Yeah,
T-Rex.
Those are a lot of teeth, and she has quite a few teeth as well.
So she's not going to squeeze her prey, she's going to snag it in like that with her mouth.
Yeah, so she'll use constriction a little bit, but she also just gets it into her mouth and then swallows it as fast as she can and actually lets the muscles inside of her stomach do the work for her.
Oh, this is also a good question that I personally love talking about because I do spend so much time with research. David would like to know, how's the conservation effort with their cousin, the Louisiana pine snake, going?
Yeah, I know that we've had some reintroductions happen. It's a super exciting project. We're super happy to be working on it.
Personally, I can just tell you that Steve, our director of that department, is talking about how many snakes we have released. We don't have a final number yet, but I'll definitely be putting it online as soon as possible. Yeah. But I can tell you, like Bella, it is going very, very well, along with our Dusty Gopher Frog conservation project as well, which I heard they had in the thousands of tadpoles this year. They are busy right now, and I can't wait to see how many get released when that time comes this summer.
So important for the environment to have those animals back in their habitats.
It is. People don't think what's the importance of having snakes in habitats, but pest control, right?
Yeah, I can't imagine how many rats and mice we'd have everywhere if there weren't snakes. And rats and mice are actually big vectors of parasites and other diseases for humans. So the more snakes we have around, the less disease we have around.
Really?
Yes.
Now, does their burrowing ever help with maybe irrigation and plants is growing a little bit better?
Yeah, so anything that digs into the ground is aerating the soil. So that really helps out with making sure that everything grows nice and well. And it also, again, they're keeping away those pests that might be nibbling on all your plants.
Oh, and I did forget to bring this up. Dee Dee, who is a big Memphis Zoo fan, is correct. One of our snakes did produce in the wild. Snake X was found as an infant that's mother was one of the ones that we hatched here and released. So that was very exciting that they are now reproducing in the wild thanks to Memphis Zoo and our collaborating zoos efforts.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks for reminding us of that, Dee Dee.
Yeah, thank you so much, Dee Dee. I would have completely forgotten that, which shame on me. All right, guys, we are getting to the end of our segment. If you have any other questions for Bella about Bandit and maybe dinosaurs in general, you can tell us your favorite dinosaur. Sorry about that, guys. The signal is dropping. That might be my cue to call it.
Yeah.
Since that's our second time of this happening.
Yeah.
Good grief.
Yeah, but we're so excited to have the continuation of the dinosaurs and have more people coming out to enjoy them.
Oh, absolutely. And she's just not getting enough of this. She's like, oh,
yes. She got all charged up in the sun, and now she's ready to go for a walk.
All right, so you're not walking a snake with a leash, though, right?
No, we just keep a very close eye on them. That's the important part about knowing the behavior is if they're going to run, they're going to slither really fast to get away from you or not. And obviously Bandit is pretty okay right now. She's having a good time. And here's some sort of grasshopper in this pile, too.
Out there being like, I'm not sure if I'm okay with all this happening right now.
An alarm call.
Did you just notice the snake we've had for the past 30 minutes? Right. Oh, it definitely got Bandit's attention, though.
Yeah.
Now, she wouldn't hunt bugs, though. You said mice usually. In the wild, would they eat a lot of insects?
So, some snakes do eat bugs. Bandit is a little bit bigger, so unless she was really hungry, she would probably avoid bugs. They're just not really worth the energy. They're really hard to catch.
But definitely seem to catch her attention.
Yes.
That wonderful noise she hears.
Like, what in the world could that be?
Because we can't see her head right now, but we do see how very still her body is, which is unusual for this entire segment. Well, she's been very, very into moving around for us.
Yes.
Well, guys, we're going to hang on for just another few minutes. If there's any last-minute questions you'd like to ask.
Yeah, or
Dog Days would like to tell us that his favorite dinosaur is the T-Rex, just like you, Bella.
Oh, nice. Yeah, they're a pretty classic dinosaur.
Oh, and Gallimimus says, as the show comes to a close, he wishes us both a great afternoon. Same to you, Gallimimus.
Yes, thank you so much.
And I appreciate you. You come on the show pretty much every day now on YouTube. And we did give you a time change, and I'm so impressed that you stuck it out.
I know, right? I recognize so many names now. So many cool people. Keep tuning in.
It is so exciting. And guys, just so you know, these are always on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter for you to rewatch at your leisure. We have playlists on both YouTube and Facebook for you to enjoy. So if you missed this, you're welcome to come in at any time. Any more last fun facts we should know about dinos and snakes?
Well, dinosaurs did go extinct because of their rapidly changing climate. They not only possibly had a meteorite, but there was also just a lot of change going on in their environment, just like there's a lot of change in our environment right now. But right now, the change that's happening is partially due to us as humans. So the best thing that we can do is continue to reduce, reuse, and recycle everything. And that way we can make sure that the snakes that we have here never go extinct either.
Love hearing that.
Yes. All right, well, I think Bandit is ready to slither away and go explore something else, but we so appreciate everyone who's been watching, and we're absolutely looking forward to seeing you guys on Wednesday. Thanks so much for tuning in.